welcome to chapter 1 of the new podcast, Theoretically, with Stuart Wilkins and Peyton Hutchins, two, I guess you'd say lifelong friends, ever since middle school.
Yeah.
Middle school friends, now in our 20s, and we love podcasts ourselves, we love good conversation, and so we were just like, dude, let's make a podcast. Not really to get famous, just because we enjoy it and we're fun. We think that they're fun. And so the podcast is named Theoretically because we noticed that every time we have a conversation, we always wind up saying the word theoretically and then blank, whatever it is, no matter what topic it is or whatever. And so we figured that it'd be a good name because, like I said, every time we talk, that's what it always leads to. So the podcast is basically going to be a variety of subjects, from movies, TV shows, politics, economics, religion, just, I don't know, anything. Wood, trees, bushes, greenery, skies, clouds, I don't know, whatever. So basically, I just said nature. Anyway, so...
Anything that's...
Anything.
Theoretical. Yeah.
So anyway, so this is episode 1. We are talking about the Mandalorian today because it's kind of we're just going to talk about the hot topic for each week, kind of what's been on our brains and kind of what we've been into that week. And so really recently we've both been into the Mandalorian. It's currently in season 2, chapter 4. And so we were just going to talk about it and the, tying in with Star Wars or just kind of the Star Wars conversation in general. So, anyway, so this last episode we watched together, and I don't know, I mean, it was
good.
Ahead.
The last episode was good.
Yeah, I think it was good. But see, I was going to make clear, too, that I do know about Star Wars, and I know about the Star Wars universe, probably more so than the average person or average American. Yeah. But Peyton knows a lot more than I do about it. Like, you actually know, you have a better idea of, like, the planets and, like, where they are and their names and stuff. And I couldn't tell you.
I know a lot about Star Wars. It turns out. So. Yeah.
But, all right.
I watch all like, the YouTube people, so...
Yeah, the other people talking about Star Wars, which I've watched a few videos, but because, I mean, like I said, like, I even had to look up, like, the setting because I was still confused. I mean, like...
Right. Like what the time period was?
Yeah. Because it was... I don't know. It was just kind of confusing.
That actually confuses a lot of people in Star Wars, I feel like, because a lot of people were confused when Rogue One came out about, they're like, so wait, this is... after episode 7, and it's like, no.
Right. I mean, even myself, the only reason I knew is because someone told me. So whoever, like, I think it was you. You may have told me, like, look, this is in between episode 3 and episode 4. And I was like, oh, okay. So that made it easier for me. But anyway, so the setting is technically after...
It's after Return of the Jedi, before episode 7. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in there, so the fall of the Empire, all that, which is kind of why it's dope in a way.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's what you told me. Even you told me this, that like the setting, is like more of like an old Western.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, it's like based on like a spaghetti Western, so it's like Adventure of the Week type. Just that's what Star Wars was to George Lucas at the beginning when he was first started thinking about it. He wanted to create some like serials, like some TV shows like that.
Or it's like more so not really like, it's like an entertainment. Yeah, the adventure of the week.
Yeah.
Because we talked about, I wish I had the list of, I should have made like the list of chapters and their names. Because it was chapter, what'd I say, chapter 2 or 3 with the, or sorry, I guess it wouldn't be 2 or 3. It would be, okay, episode 2 or 3 in season 2,
yeah.
The
spider episode, yeah. Everyone's like, everyone's upset or some people get upset because it's like filler. Didn't progress the story.
Yeah, it was like a filler episode, and it was kind of because at the end of it, I was like, "So, what was the point of that episode?" because he didn't really advance.
Right. And I saw multiple things about that. So one, obviously, like I just enjoyed it because I understood that like they still try to have that spirit of like you said, like what the adventure of the week is. But also like there were some things where the spiders foreshadowed something else, because the only time those spiders had been seen in canon before were like I think it was in Rebels, and there were some characters there, so they were thinking that it could connect somehow.
It can connect to the Rebels. Oh, because the Rebels were there.
So the TV show Rebels.
Oh.
Yeah, the only other time those spiders were seen in canon was like in the TV show Rebels, I think, and they were based off of some old concept art for the original trilogy, I think, as well. So.
Now, have you looked into the comic books at all? Because there's comics, right? There's Star Wars comics.
There are Star Wars comics.
Have you looked into any of them? Because at the end of every episode, it's
Not
just
really.
like the animation. Okay, it's just like the animation pictures, and sometimes they look like comic pictures. I don't know anything about the comics.
Me neither. I don't know if they have any comics for like Din Djarin or not. Probably not yet.
Well, you know what I thought was interesting as well is like not only a spider thing, because I feel like every like adventure, adventure movie or something has like big spiders in it.
Yeah.
So you've got like, the Lord of the Rings has the big spider.
Yeah. Abeloth, I think is her name.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What else? There's something else that has like a big spider in it.
Spiders. You're right. There's a lot of spiders.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, all right, there's another big spider.
Skyrim has a lot of giant spiders.
A spider has like the big spiders, but that's a video game, but still, it's kind of like, but like even like bosses, because I think like Monster Hunter and things like that all have like big spiders in it. So like, I don't know, I guess it's like a scary thing.
Yeah, well, they're probably fun to draw. Like if you're trying to create like a creature, I feel like a spider would be a fun thing to like mess around with, because you can like make them look like a spider, but like there's different kinds and different things you can do, and like different amount of eyes.
That's true.
And things.
Now, you know what else was interesting? Because so like in Lord of the Rings, they actually had like the webs up, and she like wrapped them up in the web. But like in the Mandalorian, they didn't have webs. They were just in the eggs, and then they all hatched. They fit. Yeah. They like. It's kind of funny. They all of a sudden all hatched at the same time.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any webs.
Yeah, so like there's no webs. So like, do you know what the name of this spider thing is?
Okay. I don't.
Well, to kind of add on to like another like enemy or another adventure thing, do you know what the species was called in season 1? They look like orcs. They were orcs. The orcs in that planet. I can look it up if I need to.
What planet?
The planet that where like the Imperial Walker was, and the farmers.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was like the second episode. That was the. No, it wasn't.
It was like the third, fourth.
It was fourth.
Either way, it was a new like enemy.
Yeah.
That they introduced. Do you know the name of those?
No. They mentioned in the episode. It's like a whole different like group of people.
Yeah. What chapter was it?
I'm pretty sure it was the 4th episode. Because episode 3 was when he got off of Navarro with Baby Yoda, and the Mandalorians saved him.
Right. Okay. So, let's see. What is the season?
I think it's episode 4. Yeah, season 1, episode 4.
Season 1, episode 4. Is that what it is? Because that's where she's introduced, right?
Right.
Shoot, what would you call it? Enemies?
Sure.
Orcs? I'm going to put orcs and see what it comes up with.
It's not.
No, I know they're not orcs, but that's what it looks like. What are they called? Wait.
Sanctuary.
It's called Sanctuary?
That's the name of the episode.
What do you call those
plot.
things?
Just search plot, and then it'll probably be mentioned.
On Sorgan, sparsely populated
Yeah.
forest, planet, village, farmers, village by raiders.
Yeah, so Raiders.
Yeah, another call. I thought the
Sargon of Akkad.
name. I know that they said the name of them.
We'll just have to rewatch the episode.
Yeah, it's like IMDb.
It just says Raiders, man.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Village from, yeah. The Mandalorian teams up with an ex-soldier to protect a farming village from raiders.
Oh, all right, there you go, Raiders. So
I knew what you're saying, that they do look weird.
yeah, so like, but that's what I'm saying. You've never seen those kind of like, quote unquote enemies or fight them off before. So, and how did they wind up with an Imperial Walker? Do you know any of that kind of stuff?
I don't. I mean, I think that's kind of the great thing about the show, though, is like, it's all possible. You know what I mean? Because the Empire fell, so there's bases that are emptied. You know what I mean? Left behind,
yeah.
or people know the Empire fell, so they take over Empire bases and things, Imperial bases. So,
What was the name? What was the name of that planet?
Sorgon.
Sorgon. Yeah. Okay. So it was on Sorgon, and so like those, I mean that's a good point though. It's just kind of like they wind up with it. But the funny thing is that like as soon as they destroyed it, then, it was like they retreated.
I liked how, I mean, I thought it was obviously it was a little cheesy, like the way it was like marching through or whatever the woods and stuff, and had like the red eyes. But it was cool how they like made it a scary thing again, because like they were supposed to be like terrifying, like those like AT-ATs or whatever.
And she says that she's like, I've seen those things take down full like armies.
Yeah,
but it's like I've never seen, even in the past episodes, I've never seen it walk by itself. There's always someone in it.
Someone was probably in it. You just didn't see him.
You think so? Because it didn't seem like it to... I mean, we can go back and watch it, but it didn't look like that there was anyone inside of it. Like, it just looked like it... Because when they raided the...
Well, it had the red eyes, yeah.
When they raided the place, then the red eyes lit up, and then it stood up on its own. Unless someone ran over there to it and got inside of it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just assumed someone was in it. And you just didn't see it happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just happened off screen or whatever.
Maybe. I don't know. It looked like to me that it was like...
Yeah.
It was going on its own. You know? I mean, I could definitely be wrong. But anyway, I thought it was... like that episode, I mean, it was good, but it was kind of like... Then, it was also like one of those entertainment...
exactly. And because, like... If you want to break it, like, when it came out, it was at first, it was like, okay, the start of it felt like just straight Disney. And I was just like, oh my God.
Oh, like he's going to like...
I was like, yeah, here we go, right? Because it just felt like a Disney movie, like at the start where they're like at the lake with the kids and the baskets and stuff. It legitimately felt like a remake of like, Disney's going back and remaking all the movies. It felt like one of those like live action remakes.
Yeah.
But it was...
Like little town in a quiet village kind of thing, like that Beauty and the Beast small town thing.
Exactly, that's what it felt like. So I was like nervous about it, and then, I mean, as it went along, it kind of progressed the plot, and it was obviously the storyline of like we're going to teach these villagers how to like defend themselves. Like that was, I read that from a mile away. There's a Clone Wars episode where they do the same thing, where the clones and like Anakin and Obi-Wan are like stuck on like a planet, in this backwater planet, and they have to teach them how to defend against the droids, I think, in the Clone Wars. So like I kind of read that was going to happen, but then but it was good, right? I mean, it was cool. We got to see the Gina Carano's character. She was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And
she plays that part really well.
Yeah, I freaking love it. But see, also like then episode 4, you're thinking like, okay. You're like, geez Louise. And then 5 gets you back on track. And you're like, okay. So the way the show just works is there's just random episodes where it's like just another story.
Yeah, like an entertainment story. Kind of like you get into trouble, get out, But, I wonder if they're going to bring it back around. And I thought they were going to at the end of season 1 when he goes back for, what's her name? The jumper.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah. I don't even know her in character name. She's the marshal
Yeah.
in Navarro.
Yeah. Anyway, when he went back for, because, like the lady that seemed like interested in him, that had the kid, the widow, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
does anyone here know how to shoot? And she's the only person that like raised her hand. So it was kind of like an introduction to like.
Yeah, and that was cheesy too, but like it was cool.
It was cool, but like, and like, actually, my wife made this point. She was like, "It's obvious that she is not from there. Like, she's kind of like one of those." I felt
like she was, yeah.
It's kind of like one of those where like she got lost on purpose, like in a quiet village.
That's an interesting theory.
That's what I'm saying. So it was kind of like, I wonder if they're going to bring that back up, because she was the only person that had experience shooting or had experience with anything outside of that village. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone else doesn't know how to defend themselves. They hunt with sticks and they fish and all this stuff, but like she knows how to shoot. And so it's kind of like, okay, it's pretty obvious that she's not from there either. And so maybe that's part of the reason that she was so intrigued by Mando, because he was an outsider. And I mean, obviously,
that'd be
he's,
interesting.
He's badass. So like,
maybe she was like running from something.
Yeah. So like, what if she had like ran away? Because that's what they were doing. Like Mando with the kid was running away.
Well, so what's her name? The shock trooper, Gina Carano's character. I don't know her name.
It probably says right here. Cara Dune.
Yeah, Cara Dune.
Cara Dune.
Yeah, she was running too. That's why she was there.
Mm-hmm. So
that's interesting. That could be a thing.
So anyway, so like maybe like that the widow like ran away, and so now she's living the simple life on a farm with her, raising her kid in a safe place. Well, especially now that the Raiders are gone,
Well, yeah, that'd be interesting too. Though it'd be like the fact that they've been living through raids. If she could like hide anywhere, and she ends up going there. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what if she has a past in warfare or in something like that? I mean, she's not built like Cara Dune is. Cara Dune's made to be like, like a warrior, like, kind of a powerful woman. And this lady's kind of like, I'm just gonna hide back. But like, she's not built like her. She doesn't like fight like her. But like, she obviously has like some kind of experience outside of that village. So I wonder if they're gonna like bring her back into it. I didn't know if you ever thought about that or not. I didn't think about it until until my wife said something about it. And so I was like, oh, that's a good point. Because she's the only person in the whole village. She's like, I know how to shoot. And then when they're like practicing, she's like, pop, 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 pop. And she's like killing it. And he's like,
oh no, I guess they could. I kind of hope they don't. But actually, I would rather them bring her back.
Yeah.
I would rather them bring her back than have this intertwined to do anything with Snoke. Which just looks like it's heading that way.
With Snoke?
Snoke from
the Clone Wars.
No. 7, 8, 9. The sequels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I blanked. Yeah, so Snoke's the bad guy in episode 7.
Do you think they'll really tie that in with this? Because this is kind of like
they already alluded to it, right?
Oh, that's true.
But like baby Yoda, they were taking his blood and they had the vats, and the things in the vats that they were looking at looked like Snoke. So it's either a misdirection, or I mean, you could probably literally just Google Snoke Mandalorian episode, whatever it was, season 2, episode 4, or whatever.
This way. Let me see. So I was gonna pull up the. What is it that? What would you call that? What do you call the? Not like an incubator, but the clone.
Cloning. You could probably search cloning. Or clones.
So these.
Yeah.
You can't see it very well. That. Whether those. So you think? What are these being made into? It said just explains whatever the Rise of Skywalker did. Interesting. So what do you think that they're cloning in that?
Snoke. Well, that's. I mean, there's a few theories, but it looks like it would be Snoke. It would be like they're trying, because you learn in Rise of Skywalker in episode 9 that Palpatine cloned Snoke. he created Snoke,
Okay.
and they were failed Snoke clones on Exegol with Palpatine. So you know that the Remnant, the Imperial Remnant, became the First Order by Snoke, who was cloned by Palpatine.
Okay.
All to prepare for some final rule thing.
Yeah.
And so those vats, those things in the thing look just like Snoke clones. So
Okay.
it
So
could
you
be
think that they're
either
all
using Baby Yoda to try to clone Snoke properly with Force sensitivity, or they're using it to like heal tissue on the Emperor, or they're trying to do it on a Palpatine clone. So,
which I find interesting that like, okay, so
or some
they're
other
doing
option.
these. Well, I don't know because see, they had those clones off site. So in season 1, when he goes and gets the child, which we can refer to him as Baby Yoda, but we don't. I mean,
Yeah, well, Baby Yoda's just what they call him.
yeah.
Just say Baby Yoda.
Okay, so Baby Yoda, the child. So he goes and brings him back to that village. Why wouldn't they take him to the cloning place? Because they went to the other end of the planet where that Imperial base was or whatever.
Oh yeah, Navarro. Well,
yeah. So like, why wouldn't they take him? Why wouldn't they take him there and instead of leaving him in the to that lab? Versus...
I don't know. I guess that's just because like no one really knew about it. No one knew what they were doing. They're trying to keep things under wraps.
They thought it was abandoned. They thought the Imperial base was abandoned.
Yeah.
Or it should have been anyway.
Yeah. So they probably just had their guy, go into Navarro to get the bounty hunters on the mission.
Oh.
And so, they were probably going to take him, transport him over at some point.
Yeah, that's probably true. But then it was very shortly after he delivered the child.
Yeah.
He went back and got him. So I don't know. That's a fair point as well. So, but they never introduced, or they did introduce the new villain. What's his name?
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't in. Even if this is between 6 and 7, his name's never mentioned, right?
I think
Not
so.
that I know of. So you think they're trying to? Okay, that makes sense though. As far as trying to pull his blood to create Snoke, but now they don't have any more of those clones because they blew up the.
Right. Well, that's the thing that's upsetting about the way this is going. I still obviously love all the episodes and still all really good, but I'm nervous about where it's going, because if they are actually using Baby Yoda to try to create successful Snoke clones, and we know that Snoke is successfully created, the conclusion would be that they end up harvesting Baby Yoda enough to do it. So there's that, and there's also the problem of we know all the Jedi got wiped out. So a lot of people were hoping Baby Yoda gets brought to Ahsoka. Maybe Ahsoka brings Baby Yoda to Luke, right? But if he does that, then we know he dies as well, because all the Jedi died in the sequels.
So you think that Baby Yoda dies eventually?
It's looking like that's what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm hoping that they can just give him to Ahsoka, and then there's almost like a spin-off Ahsoka TV show, and Baby Yoda just appears in it.
I get it. So what you're saying is, because I was wondering, okay, when the way that this started out, or when I heard that there was a TV show called The Mandalorian, I think we had this conversation. I thought it was going to be like a bounty hunter, story,
right?
It's
I think it's what everyone thought.
Yeah, it's just about a bounty hunter, but now they're tying it into the storyline, which is fine.
It's cool. Yeah,
I mean, it's cool, but
it makes me nervous for the show, because the show is so good being about. Well, first of all, like you said, yeah, we thought it was going to be about bounty hunters, and then,
I thought that's all it was going to be.
But it kind of started being more about the Mandalorians. And you're oh, okay, so it's less about bounty hunter code; it's more about Mandalorian code.
Hmm.
He's just a bounty hunter because that's easy, I guess.
That's how he makes.
Yeah, it's just what works.
And what's interesting is that sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but like how they introduced like this is the way
Yeah, that was cool.
kind of thing, because like that's not, because when you saw like the bounty hunter, the dressed up Mandalorian in the movie series, you don't see anything like that. You don't see like a code or like a not cult, but what do they call it? I guess, I mean, you can't call it a cult, but it's kind of like a...
Well, they are a cult, actually, yeah. But
yeah, but what do they call it?
Like the Covert?
Yeah, like the group of people, like the Mandalorian...
The Coven? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like, what's another word for cult that doesn't sound as bad?
Splinter group? I don't know what you're looking for.
Anyway, it's not important. But yeah, so like the cult. You don't see anything like that, which like Boba Fett and Jango Fett, they all could have been like their own separate thing, right?
Yeah,
not
that's
like part of the Mandalorian.
That's a whole controversy, though. Actually, so get this right.
Well, I mean, like, couldn't he break away just like, because Mando broke away,
right? But I'm saying is whether or not Jango and Boba were even Mandalorians is debatable.
How's that debatable?
Right. So,
like, they never took off. Well, he did take off his helmet.
So
Django did.
Well, here's the thing: they did take off their helmet, right? And you see Boba in the prequels, and everything. But what happened was, so in all the comic books and all the previous lore, okay, Jango was a foundling, like Din. So he was a Mandalorian in the comics.
In the comics.
Yeah, and they were born in the same system as Mandalore, not on Mandalore, but in the same
guild. That's what I was looking for. Not cult, guild. Sorry, continue.
He was born in the same star system, and Jango's parents got killed by Death Watch, which was a splinter group of the Mandalorians. Anyway, George Lucas, when they created an episode of the Clone Wars, there was a moment where Obi-Wan was talking with somebody in the Mandalorian, in their hall there, their government. Mm-hmm. He was talking to them and he said, asked about Jango Fett, and the guy says, I don't even know where he got the armor. Like that Jango Fett's not a Mandalorian, he's just a bounty hunter. So there's this always thing going on saying George Lucas has said that Jango Fett wasn't a Mandalorian, wasn't a true Mandalorian. But no one really knows.
How did he get the armor?
Right, they don't know.
Oh.
And so no one really knows either. I don't think the context in which he said that. I don't know what a real Mandalorian is to George Lucas. You know what I mean? So, and also the guy that told Obi-Wan that about Jango, he wasn't really a reliable source in terms of the story because he was Death Watch, and Death Watch was basically a group of cultist Mandalorians that wanted Mandalore to be violent and have like a warrior history. And the new Mandalorians wanted it to be like they were pacifists. They wanted to be more peaceful. So, yeah.
Whoa. See that's things that I didn't even notice or think about. Yeah. So
when you talking about like Jango and Boba Fett, like the way they behave, mm-hmm. There's a lot out there to suggest that they might not even really be Mandalorians in the first place. Even though obviously Boba Fett's armor has the Mandalorian thing on it.
Doesn't really matter because.
And it's not Jango's armor. A lot of people, I learned this too, pretty recently, because I read a lot of the old Boba books back in the day, mm-hmm. and he just repainted Jango's armor. But turns out, in the Clone Wars, Boba Fett sets a trap for Mace Windu and blows up Jango's armor to try to bait Mace Windu and blow him up. Okay, so what's the setting of Clone Wars? Because Jango dies in the big like Jedi War when Anakin on Utapau, yeah.
What is it?
On Utapau there?
Yeah. Where like, and so then they're all like in that sand pit or not sand pit.
Geonosis, not Utapau. But yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I just never, I don't know. I couldn't remember where they were at. It's like, you know, they're all there and they're fighting, and then he gets his head chopped off.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Clone Wars, yeah. And then you see Boba, like, hold his head, which is really sad and depressing because Boba's the man. But
I mean, yeah, but like
the animated Clone Wars series. So end of episode 2 is when Yoda says, "Begun the Clone Wars has." So that marks the beginning of the Clone Wars. And so the episode, the Clone Wars, really isn't about the Clone Wars. It's about how the Clone Wars begin.
yeah.
And then episode 3 picks off at the end of the Clone War.
Okay, I'm talking about the TV show.
The TV show is in between 2 and 3.
Oh, there's a bunch of episodes though, right?
Yeah, it's like 7 seasons.
Well, see, that's what I think too. Is that like because it makes you think. Okay, so they made this TV show, this one, The Mandalorian,
Yes.
and it's like, so instead of making another movie,
Just keep making TV shows, man.
you're making.
At
TV
this
shows.
point,
Yeah.
Disney just needs to make TV shows, bro.
and just let people stream it. Yeah, I mean,
I love it better. The episode 7, 8, and 9 were so bad. Rogue One was good. Solo was fine.
I never even watched Solo.
It lost money.
I didn't even watch. Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow, I'd say. Well, I'm part of the reason because I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I didn't even watch Solo because I just did. I just never took the time to do it. I mean, I thought it was kind of just like an extra,
It really is.
kind of like a spinoff, like an extra, you know, because it's technically a prequel, right? It's a
Right.
prequel to the prequels.
Yeah. They were going to make 3 of them, dude. They were going to make 3 of them. And so they set up, the end of Solo, they set up like a Darth Maul scene and everything.
Yeah, but it didn't.
But they lost money.
Wow, I didn't even know they lost money. Didn't know that was possible for Disney to do.
Yeah, well, they had to do rewrites, and they had a fire. They fired a director and got a new guy in, and they'd already sunk all this money in, and yeah,
Oh dang.
they basically
So that was
did it twice.
post Disney buying it, right?
Yeah,
Solo was
Solo was
post
Disney.
So the last thing
This is the only Disney Star Wars that has been like, damn, like that's good, like that, and then they finished the Clone Wars. So the 7 Clone Wars, season 7 of the Clone Wars, I think,
is good.
is really good.
See, I never watched it because it was like animated, and I thought it was like a spin. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like a spinoff of Star Wars. I didn't know it actually tied into the storyline. Truthfully, that's me. I just never looked into it. Like I said, I love Star Wars, but I just never looked into it because I never, like I said, never took the time, everything to like watch it. But I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, like I kind of agree with you that like
it doesn't, but yeah.
yeah, and like now that I know that like the Mandalorian is like kind of tying into the whole storyline, you're like,
It's kind of cool.
I mean, it is cool. It is interesting that they're doing it in like a TV show, and I think it's good too because like that's the thing. Like you can leave. So like in a movie, you got to do this big storyline in like 2 hours.
Right.
Where like a TV show already has, you have a season and a half. So you're looking at like, what's 45 times 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? What's 7 times like 11? You
77.
You got like 77, almost like 77 like hours
Right, yeah.
of content for people to watch.
Yeah.
So like you can kind of stretch out the storyline more versus just like kind of trying to condense it in one big
Right.
movie.
And it's cool too because the movies are like here, like, you know, like they're like the bulk of what's going on. It's the most important thing happening in the universe right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's Luke defeating the Emperor and Darth Vader and all that, right? Or whatever. But then underneath that, like other things are happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like what you see in the movie isn't the only thing that would realistically happen in a movie. Like, you know, even like World War II movies, they'll give you like the coolest parts of like some missions that happened in World War II.
Yeah.
But then there's other battles going on and stuff, right?
Right.
And so it's cool to see stuff like this and like the Clone Wars, how it can come in behind and just fill in all these other stories of all these other people that were going on during this time, which may not be as important, but
it's still cool
but
to
tie
watch.
in, yeah. And if they get it right, you see, because like the movie has to get it right. First of all, they have to be consistent. But then all these other shows, if they are really smart about like, okay, we're not going to break any lore, we're just going to add and create stories within the framework that we have, it's awesome. It's amazing. It's like the best thing ever. Because that's when you
That's
meet.
a good point. Yeah. That's a good point to compare it to like World War II, because you've got like the World War II story. Like this is what happened in World War II. But if you ever watch like World War II in HD and they interview like these people, it's like this was my World War II.
Right. Yeah.
And this other guy's like, this is my World War II. This is mine. And so you've got all these different battles and all these different stories going on during the big war.
Yeah.
You know, and that's very interesting that they're kind of. I agree with you. I like it. And then, but like, okay, even like the Mudhorn episode.
Yeah.
You never seen anything about a Mudhorn.
I hadn't. No.
Right. So it's like they're introducing these new things, but apparently are like common and everybody knows about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'll tell you something that's cool too. Is we talked about this I think earlier with the sand dragon in season 2. Apparently, okay, that's actually taken from like a super old video game, like way back.
Like an old Star Wars video game.
Yeah, like way back. Like I don't even know what console it was
like
on.
PS2 or like PS1.
Like yeah, like way back. I don't even know. You just look up Sand Dragon video game or something.
Star Wars Sand Dragon.
Crate Dragon.
Crate Dragon.
Is that what it is?
Crate Dragon. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Well,
is that what it is? Star Wars.
It could be KOTOR.
Hey, let's just go up here to images and see.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah, I think it was Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, and there's one there too. Yeah, so in A New Hope, you see the skeleton of a crate dragon.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Wow.
Yeah, so it's like...
What scene is that?
That's after they get jettisoned onto... in C-3PO in Episode 4, and C-3PO and R2-D2 shoot down to Tatooine.
So they use that. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy, right?
That's awesome. That's so much detail.
Yeah,
wow.
It's so cool. And I think that's probably the video game. Like, look how old that...
as a droid. Let's play Star Wars Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Knights of the Old Republic. One of the Knights of the Old Republic games, apparently, had a crate dragon in it.
Okay, so we'll go to Star Wars Old Republic. What do we say?
Crate dragon.
How do you spell it? Crate. There it is. Oh, shoot. There it is. Well, it looks different.
It does look different.
This sand dragon looks different. So, Dune Sea Crate Dragon.
Yeah.
What? But we still don't know what...
But he's in a cave.
Yeah, he comes out of a cave and then...
Yeah, and there's like, apparently you can get the pearl too. So like the Tusken Raiders head up the pearl at the end of that episode.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out what video game this is. KOTOR? Star Wars KOTOR.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic.
KOTOR. So that's what it is.
I guess they had it on Xbox and stuff. It's just the graphics are just so old.
So Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, I mean it's probably PS1, PS2, Xbox.
Let's look at that. What do we say? Knights of the Old Republic.
2008.
Wait, which one is it?
2008, the one with 360.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic video game series. What year?
I think it said 08 is when it came out.
So year 2011. Really?
It's a different.
Oh, that is a different one.
See, that one's
2003.
That one's 03.
2003. Knights of the Old Republic.
And that's the one.
That's the one. Okay, so 2003. What console? This is release date. Knights of the Old Republic. Console.
Yeah, dude.
Commands? Is that the word I'm looking for?
No. That would be if you're playing it on the PC.
Oh.
I guess maybe Xbox. I guess probably just the PC, maybe.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
Let's just go to shopping. See what it's on. Mac. Xbox. So like Xbox.
Yeah, like Xbox.
Just Xbox. Just Xbox. So that would be during the time of PS.
I mean, one, right? There's no way PS2 was out in 03.
PlayStation. Let's see.
Or maybe it just came out. Maybe the PS2 just came out.
I don't know that it says.
Just
so,
search.
oh, maybe no, but in Star Wars, it doesn't come on a PS.
You're still in shopping. Search. Search PS2 release date.
Okay.
Because they would be on it if.
December. Oh, it released on Xbox on December 6, 2004. Windows on February 8, 2005. OS X and Linux. Did it even come out on PlayStation?
Release all of that.
What? Which part?
Get rid of all that. Just search up the release date of the PS2.
PS2. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what you meant.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Because if PS2 was out by then, they would have probably made it for it.
Yeah, I don't think 2000. Okay.
So you probably could play on PS2.
When was the PS3 released? Do you know? It wasn't. I mean, it was
Like 2010, maybe?
2006.
Oh my God. What?
We're old, dude. PS4 came out in like 13. It's 2020, bro. PS3's been out for 7 years, almost 8 years.
Interesting. That's weird.
Well, the PS5 just came out
Yeah. And the new Xbox. Oh,
So-
no, the new Xbox is gone.
November 12th. But that's about time, 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
Because the Xbox is probably about the same. Xbox,
Yeah, Xbox they always follow the same schedule,
yeah,
basically.
all of them. What about Wii? What about the Nintendo Switch?
I
What was
keep
before
up
the
with that.
Switch? Wii?
Surely not.
I'm pretty sure. They didn't release anything between the Wii and the... Unless they just, like, a Wii... like... Wasn't there, like, a Wii U or something?
Yeah.
What is it?
But
Nintendo console...
releases, maybe?
Console...
Timeline. Release dates or timeline?
There we go. So the color... Okay, that's way back. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So GameCube... GameCube, dude, 2001. And the Wii was introduced in 2006. Then the Wii U 2012. So that was what was in between it.
Lame.
Well, the Switch came out in 2017.
Yeah.
That's 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was
4 years ago.
I was at school when that came out. I remember my roommate bought it.
That's crazy. But anyway, off topic. So I didn't even know that part. And then the same thing with the Mud Dragon. Was that a video
The
game
Mudhorn?
thing too? Mudhorn, sorry. Mud Dragon.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I do know that some of the stuff they pull from is like super creative, like super far out things you'd never realize, but they're still part of the
Okay,
universe.
and here's
in some
another
way.
thing too. I mean, like maybe this is just a personal, like maybe it's like too picky, but okay. So he wrestles, and which this is another side comment. When he kills the Mudhorn, he takes a knife, like 8-inch blade,
Yeah.
and this ginormous Mudhorn,
Bro.
and he just falls like.
The vibroblade, man.
Oh, that's what it was. So that makes a difference.
Yeah, look up vibroblade. Mandalorian vibroblade.
Mandalorian. How do you spell it? Vibroblade. That's what it is. That's what he stabbed him with.
Yeah, and look, you got fully explained by Star Wars theory. You got all that stuff.
So if you get stabbed with a vibroblade, that's it.
Like, let's see what Wikipedia says.
Wookie. Okay, vibroblade. Wow.
That's Legends.
Advertisement.
Should we look at canon?
What?
Are we on canon or are we on Legends?
What do you mean?
Which one is it on? It's on canon. Okay.
It's on canon, yeah. You know, bringing up values details. Is used either as an offensive weapon that could be hammered into an opponent's defense, or as a glowed when it's ignited. It can be used a crude surgical weapon, capable of punching through. But it doesn't say anything about how like
you could punch it through armor, dude. Stormtrooper armor.
Okay, gotcha. But like, still, he kills the Mudhorn in one.
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I just know that, and then again, my wife being who she is, she was like, "Yeah, but like someone stabs you in the, what do they call it?
Carotid artery.
Carotid artery. It's like you're done." She was like, "Just one nick and you're done." She was like, "So maybe that's what he did." And I was like, "All right, I mean, like you're probably right."
He hit some important stuff.
Yeah, he either way in that 8 inches of this, you know,
red hot
100,000-pound animal. He just like, that's it.
Well, I think even with animals, I think sometimes the thing is those like, can you get through their skin?
Oh yeah.
In the vibro plate.
I mean, like that makes sense. Anyway, so another thing. So again, off topic. So how did the Jawas know that this Suka egg is in his, and why would the Mudhorn be like defending it? Or they just know it's in this cave, and
I don't know. Maybe it's.
I just found it interesting, and then when they slice it open, it's just something to eat.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's probably just that the Mudhorn's egg. It's probably like a baby Mudhorn or something.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
I guess, I don't know.
But when they cut it open, it was just like orange goo that they ate.
I mean,
then again, we cut open eggs.
You eat eggs.
And they're just like, okay, all right.
Which I don't know if that's even the same thing.
But wouldn't you think that the male and female Mudhorn would defend the egg? Am I thinking too much into this?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so like they slice it open and it's like something for them to eat. And I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was kind of like, I mean, it was good because then you like saw how powerful the baby Yoda is, the child is. So
yeah, man, and they're just giving you stories, man. They're showing cool things. They're just exploring different areas of the universe. You know, it's just
I'm not like trying to be nitpicky. I think it's beautifully written. It's a great series. It's very entertaining. I love it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just like, my brain is weird, and I go to those like questions. I go to those conversations. So like, you know, that's just kind of my thing. I'm kind of like,
yeah. I mean, you can't make. Well, because there's always like an explanation that you could create. You know what I mean? There's always there's always a way to find something that makes no sense. You know what I mean? You could always say, well, what if this? Well, what if that? And it's like, well, it wasn't. The answer is that's just not what happened.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, yeah, and I get that, you know, but I don't know. Like I said, I just go like, even when me and you were watching it, I was like, how'd they do that? What do you think, man? And you're like, dude, it's not important. Like I was like, how'd they get that speeder across the planet that fast?
Yeah, I'm like, it's a speeder, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
They call it a speeder.
I don't know how fast they're going or how far they had to go.
Right. So anyway, let's see. There was another point I was gonna bring up. But anyway, so that I was thinking about this last episode. I wonder what kind of wrench that throws into like the I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
The Empire. I wonder how long this is going to go on. Like as far as like.
I know what you're saying with the Imperial Remnant. Well,
so like the person, they fix the ship and they put the tracker in the ship.
Yes.
So
they're tracking Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, and Baby Yoda. So they're going to try to take back Baby Yoda. We know that for a fact. But Din's going to find Ahsoka. So if he gets to Ahsoka, then there might just be some really cool, awesome action scenes involved with keeping Baby Yoda safe. Or maybe they get Baby Yoda and Ahsoka helps them take him back, maybe.
Do you think that Baby Yoda knows what's going on?
No.
You think he has no idea?
No.
Because I understand that he's like supposed to be like an innocent, sweet little baby child. But like he had him in his ship, like plugging wires together.
Yeah. That was a good scene. That was good.
You know, I mean, that was good. That was funny. But like, so he can understand, right?
Well, kind of. I mean,
because he was like, take the blue, and like put it.
Yeah.
So he had an idea of what he was doing, but.
I mean, yeah. Well,
I wonder if he has any idea. Like,
and he healed. I mean, the baby, right? He probably just forgets, right? Because he understands what's going on in the moment, but he probably doesn't. He can't probably put it together, big picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He probably doesn't really.
Well, no, because okay, now think about this. Because, well, I get what you're saying, but like, it's not like he can't learn because he knows. Because episode 1, season 2, when he goes into like the fighting, the like.
Oh yeah, like that thing's
okay.
out.
So. Okay, so Baby Yoda. It was funny. It was good. So Baby Yoda sees his wrist light up, and he was like, "Oh shit!" And he like hit the button, and he moves away because he knows what's coming.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
he's not completely oblivious, just like a human infant would be completely oblivious.
Right.
So like he knows,
yeah.
And the interesting thing is, it's like he knows.
And he healed Den, and
he healed that guy. He held the mud horn.
Yeah.
In the air. He choked what's her name when they were arm wrestling.
Yeah.
So like he knows.
He knows what's going on, but he doesn't really know what's going on.
He knows when he's in a bad person's possession.
He's aware.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really know what's going on.
Which is interesting that like if he can do that. Well, I guess because it sucks so much energy out of him. I was gonna say like even if he got captured, couldn't he just choke the doctor that was experimenting on him?
Yeah, maybe, but he's also like a baby too, so it's like
he probably didn't know who
someone could
experimented on.
Someone could pop. What I'm saying, like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, if you don't have any way to actually fight, if you're in a room with two people, you're kind of screwed.
No, yeah, that's a good point.
You know, he can't actually get away on his own, really.
Yeah, that's a good point. Which was a good, what was a good scene was when because like you said, he knows what's going on. When they went to go get what's his name out of the moving prison, and the robot is in the pilot's seat. Well, he gets out and he like distracts the robot, and he's distracting him.
Right.
He knows that he's distracting him. It's like he knew what he was doing to help out Mando.
Right. Yeah.
Because he was like moving around and like making noises, and it was
yeah. I understand
distracting the robot. So it's like he knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, maybe this is just me overthinking. But
it's just, I mean, he knows.
Yeah. Which.
It's very helpful actually, because it's like he actually does contribute to like the success of the plot. So like it would be very frustrating if like
Mando was doing every little bit.
Yeah, it was like like a burden completely. But he actually does like, he's not fighting. He's not making it too difficult for him.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that they keep introducing like new Mandalorians that aren't really Mandalorians.
Oh no, they're really Mandalorians.
Not the sheriff guy.
Oh yeah, not the sheriff guy.
No.
Right.
Which I'm glad you made the point the other day when we were talking about how the armor he was wearing that he got from the Jawas is actually
Boba
Fett's armor.
Yeah.
Swallowed up by the
Sarlacc, yeah.
The Sarlacc. So,
yeah, in Legends, I think Dengar, another bounty hunter, helped get Boba out. But that was Legend, so that's not canon anymore.
Got out of the
Sarlacc. Yeah.
How do you help someone get out of a Sarlacc?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a lot of explosives involved, though.
I mean, like, how do you...
And a very sharp blade.
I mean, I guess explosives would do it because, like, it can't move. It's just there.
Right.
In the ground, so you just, like, light a bomb, throw it down there, and wait. But isn't it kind of crazy that like Mando gets swallowed up by the dragon,
Yeah, that was insane.
but he still got out?
It was great too because I was the whole time I was like, okay, I was like, how are they gonna make this like make sense?
What?
Because I didn't think he was gonna get swallowed. First of all, I thought it was just gonna work out for him, his plan, right? But then he got swallowed, and so now I'm thinking like, okay, like he doesn't die, but like,
How does he get spit back out? I forgot.
right? Well, that's the thing, right? Is he shocks he has that rifle,
Oh yeah.
and he shocks it to open its mouth and jets out as it explodes, as the bantha explodes. It's pretty dope.
That was good. But still, how do you know what you're doing inside of something's belly?
I guess you kind of just guess a little bit, right?
How do you know which way's out? That's what I.
I don't know. That's a good question.
How do you know which way is out? That's so funny. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're tumbling inside of an esophagus, how do you know which way is out?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I feel like you kind of generally know.
Unless you've been there before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you would.
Maybe if you had a compass or something. You know? You'd be like, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so, okay, I understand that, like, the new Mandalorians that they just introduced, they are Mandalorians, but they're, like, a different guild of Mandalorians.
Right. See, I think the uncertain thing is... See, because here's the thing, right? For the most... I don't know if most is even the right word. For a lot of existing fans, all right, they know Mandalorians as Jango Fett, Boba Fett,
Yeah.
and then the all the other lore outside of the movies. So like the Clone Wars, we got to see Death Watch, a group. We got to see we got to see Mandalore. We got to see Maul take over Mandalore.
Yeah.
And you get all these different.
So Death Watch is
groups.
like a different group of.
Well, right, and so they said he was a child of the Watch. So a lot of people are saying that could be Death Watch, but we also saw Death Watch people take their helmets off. So it's really unsure how many separate groups formed, how many, like you said, sort of guilds of Mandalorians had formed, and when. So it's a little unsure still, but the interesting is that he believes in what he was taught, that all Mandalorians, like, this is the way, you know, you keep your
Don't
helmet
take
on.
off your helmet.
But as we've seen in previous things that, like Bo-Katan and all of them, they, you know, that was not a thing for them. So
like, where did they grow up and where did they learn?
Well, Mandalore. She grew up. Bo-Katan was Death Watch.
So Mandalore is full of other Mandalorians, but it's kind of like churches. They all do it a little different.
Right. I mean, that's what it feels like. I
don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, like, that's a good comparison, right? Maybe not.
I like it. I think it makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense.
Because you have different, you have the system, but Mandalore was like the planet that Mandalorians were from, right? And it's where they found and one of the moons, I think, is where they mined Beskar, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But then basically you had Mandalore, and they were all like warriors. It was like that was their sort of their history. They're very militant. And then at some point, they decided they wanted to be more pacifist. Some people said we need to forget the old ways of doing things, and that's when Death Watch was created.
Okay.
And Death Watch was like, no, we need to go back to our warrior ways. So they got exiled to a moon, and so they were plotting to take back Mandalore. So those are just the two factions that really got delved deep into in the Clone Wars. But with this, like now, who knows how many different factions there could have been of things. And the Watch, see, it's stupid, actually. It's really confusing. I need explanation, because I want to say that, like, maybe new factions formed after the Imperial control of Mandalore.
Okay.
So at some point when the Empire wins, they come and they take control of Mandalore, right? but he was a foundling and saved during the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And so it would make sense, so based on what we know in canon, that it would have been Death Watch that found him.
Okay.
But Death Watch people take their helmets off. So there was probably another group that found him or something. And or maybe they're just going to add to some existing canon and be like, well, yeah, but there was this certain people maybe saw it differently. I don't know. But yeah, Mandalorians can take their helmets off still. Is basically the rule. Because a lot of people thought, well, maybe this was a new rule that they created after, since there's so few of them now. So after the Great Purge, maybe it's like, okay, they're doing this now to like keep their identities hidden. But it turns out it looks more like it was just a belief of his sort of guild or his sort of off group of Mandalorians.
And I can't remember. So his group of Mandalorians that were living in the sewer or whatever, not the sewer, but underground, they're all on the same page as far as you can't take off your helmet. And
they're all dead, but yeah.
Yeah, now they're all dead.
Yeah.
Which?
There's actually a new theory.
But didn't she explain that? Because the girl or the lady.
The armor?
Yeah, the armor lady. How did she make it? Didn't she say that they all like...
Yeah.
She said they all died. Or they all just took off their helmets.
Oh, no. I have to go back and listen to her dialogue to see exactly what she was saying. But yeah, I mean, she made it sound like you're not supposed to do that.
Right. What would you say it?
The armor is her character name, technically.
The armor?
Mm-hmm.
What would you call it? Dialogue.
Creed dialogue. Quotes.
Quotes from season 1. Is that it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she's...
No, go back.
I don't think that's it. Oops. Sorry.
See what that
This
is.
one?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could, I was wondering if we could, like, look up the video of her saying that. That's costume, filming.
I mean, you'd probably have to just pull up that episode and go to it, but...
Which I could have done, but...
yeah.
I don't know. But I thought, okay, never mind. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But either way, so how did she make it? And not the rest of them?
I don't know. I mean, that's another one of the great questions.
Okay.
Hoping she comes back, she pops back up at some point.
How did the armor survive? I don't know. Like I said, I was just gonna see. New set armor. The aftermath of the attack of the Cover of the Empire. The armorer made it her mission to salvage what Beskar she could from the deceased Mandalorians. When she met, how you say that? Jaren?
Is it Jaren?
Jaren.
Din Djarin,
And
yeah.
allies, she helped him restock his supplies and declared the formation his clan after creating a signet, but stay behind in order to continue collecting the Beskar coverage. So it doesn't say how she survived. You just know that she survived.
Yeah, I don't remember the episode well enough either. But I will say they keep mentioning the Great Purge. I don't know what that is, so hoping we find out.
As a product after completing his bounty at a park. She halted the fight by reminding them that the Empire no longer existed. I don't know. Either way, she survives.
Yeah, some are saying they were actually the. Again, this doesn't make sense to me. But they were saying that that group was actually the group of Death Watch that was loyal to Darth Maul when he ruled Mandalore.
To Darth Maul?
Yeah.
See, that was the thing that you explained to me that I didn't even think about. What?
Because her helmet has horns.
Yeah, I noticed that. It has little horns on it.
Like Maul. Yeah. But again, I don't understand how it's even how it can relate to Death Watch at all, because he was picked up during the Clone Wars. So unless he was picked up on like the back end of the Clone Wars, but no. But see, there's droids and stuff, so it's like.
Well, right here's a history of Mandalorian. The armor explained. See, all these look like interviews. I was actually looking for the scene. See, this is the fight scene, but I doubt that actually has like them talking. This one?
That could be it.
Oh, I need to turn the volume down. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wait, is this it? This was like one of the first scenes. So I was going to fast forward. Oh yeah, there's the droid. So let's go back. Oh no, that's
This is the one that you hunted and saved?
Yes. The one that saved me as well.
From the Mudhorn?
Yes.
I know of such things.
I was just going to see where.
Tell of battles between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi that fought with such powers.
It is an enemy.
No. Its kind were enemies. This individual is not.
And I assume this last minute is going to be her fighting. So.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
A pauldron would be is your signet.
Alright, that's when she forges all that stuff. But she doesn't.
We'll go watch to the end.
Okay.
Just. What are you trying to find out?
I was trying to find that dialogue where she was talking about when he walks in and all those helmets are laying there.
Well, that's going to be at the end. That was one of the last scenes.
Yeah, but. Oh, okay. So you want me to go down here?
Yeah. Oh, I guess it was before this, though, wasn't it?
That's what I was thinking.
We'll make you complete.
And then this last bit is her fight scene.
Thank you.
When you have healed, you will begin your drills.
So, yeah, it was before then.
See, there's the fight scene.
Multiple enemies.
Can you not?
Show me the one safety deemed such.
What's right before this?
Dude, that's. Where?
Before that.
This is the one that
Keep sliding to the freaking left.
Yes.
Because it shows where all this stuff's melting.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think this scene has it. I don't think this video has it.
Yeah, me either.
Anyway, I was just trying to see what she said. I don't know. That's final scene. Let's just look up. Fight scene. That scene. Anyway, I don't guess it's all that important. But anyway, I was seeing if she, I was seeing if she explained how she got out.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened there in that part of the story, so. I'm unaware. But yeah, no, it's
You're kind of
great.
blinded by the bad faith. You can't really have any such moments while at it. This is like an interview with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, not worried about it. Anyway, I was just seeing if it showed how she survived. Maybe she just hid. I was just trying to see. Well, see, this is one that says ties it to the Clone Wars.
It's going to be what I just said, I
Pretty
think.
much what you just said, yeah.
Yeah, Death Watch.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, she's never going to remove her helmet.
Mm-mm.
So, I don't know. I don't think she's done, though. I think they'll bring her back at some point. But, anyway, so...
Well, I hope so. I hope they get more into Mandalore and Mandalorians and less into Snoke and the Empire and the New Order.
Yeah.
It's like, just stay away from all the sequels.
I don't know, but they kind of can't, because this is after episode 6.
You're right. They can't. I mean, it's brilliant. It's really great. It's actually really awesome how this story ties in with it, with Baby Yoda. So unique character, like in the...
But
let's keep the focus on Bo-Katan getting the Darksaber, defeating Moff Gideon, taking back Mandalore. Ahsoka's about to show up, so then we're going to have a whole stuff we want to know about that.
which I was going to look up.
And I swear to everything on my life, if they kill off Ahsoka just to make sense of the sequels, man.
So that's what Ahsoka looks like.
Yeah, I mean...
And
Yeah.
so is she a Jedi?
No, not really. So...
She's holding lightsabers. Well, then again, so did Finn in the new ones. But
Yeah. So she was a Jedi. She was Anakin's apprentice during the Clone Wars.
Okay.
But she ended up getting accused of something she didn't do, and the Jedi Order did her really wrong, and she was really pissed off about it, basically. So she left the Jedi Order.
Okay.
She left the Jedi Order, became more of this, like, in-the-middle character, a morally sort of gray character.
Mm-hmm.
And then ended up helping Bo-Katan fight against Maul on Mandalore during the Siege of Mandalore.
So how did she help fight? Did she help fight with her Jedi powers or not? Because she's no longer a Jedi.
Nah, like, I mean, she has the Force. She could always use the Force,
Okay.
you know, still and everything. But Anakin gave her lightsabers and some clones. Anakin gave her lightsabers
Okay.
before the fight.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
And then she shows up in Rebels too, which is a whole thing. But
okay. That makes sense. I mean, it does. So that's where you think that they're heading with it. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not. That's the thing. You can't really be like mad about it, you know. But
No, well, not preemptively. Not before it even happens.
yeah,
But it would be very upsetting if they just run the show into the ground because of that.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Because I mean, that's the thing. I think they'll eventually tie it into the sequels.
Yeah, well,
The
yeah,
three sequels.
and they're taking the steps that way, and it's fine if it's like a little bit. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't want the show to become like, this is us trying to explain things that wasn't explained to you in the movie
in
episode 9.
In the newest. Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to keep it tied in, I like that. It's cool how the worlds connect.
Mm-hmm.
But don't use the show as the primary vehicle to explain things that weren't explained in episode 9.
Yeah.
Or try to make sense of things that no one enjoys, right?
Right. I was trying to see if there were some leaks about how many seasons that they're gonna do, because that'll kind of explain how
far they'll go.
They're gonna go with it.
I think the season 3 did get greenlit. So
Number of episodes, yeah, we know that. I don't think they know. Season 3 is definitely happening.
oh yeah, it's on track. So yeah,
Before the end of the year. That was posted on October 30th, so they're probably getting prepped to film it now. Which is fine. You know, as long as that, you know, stays. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not really mad either way. I mean, it's still entertaining. I enjoy it. But, like I said, I think it kind of took a turn differently than what everybody was thinking as far as, like, because, like I said, I thought it was going to be, like, Mandalorian.
Bounty Hunter,
Mandalorian stuff. And that's the next thing. It's kind of like, because there's so many different directions they could go as far as like, all right, so let's say he successfully gets the child back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then he just hops in his ship and he leaves.
Yeah.
And he goes back to bounty hunting again?
Well, what's going to happen is...
Or is he going to go back to the planet with that widow?
Navarro.
With the widow, and then take off his helmet
Sargon.
and call it quits.
He might. I don't know. I think what they're setting up is taking back Mandalore. So
who currently rules Mandalore?
Don't know.
Gideon, because he has the saber.
Maybe. We don't know the state of Mandalore right now. But we know Bo-Katan's after the Darksaber. Okay? So, Bo-Katan's after the Darksaber. Moff Gideon has the Darksaber. Moff Gideon is after the child. And Din Djarin has the child. Right? So,
Okay.
those three are going to be running together at some point. Yeah.
Because I mean, like, right here's the scene where he has it.
Right.
He has it right there. So, and like this is it from the Clone Wars, right?
That's Rebels. That's Sabine. That's when she had it.
Okay. So it's just whoever has possession of it.
Yeah. See, this is when Bo-Katan had it at the end of Rebels.
And all these people are bound down to her. The Mandalorians are bound down to her.
Right. But
What's the girl's name? The kind of mysterious. All right. What are the? Sorry. Let me go back. So the Mandalorians that just were introduced that take off their helmets. What were their names again?
I only remember Bo-Katan. I can't remember the other person's names.
I just didn't know if they had any kind of like significance. What?
That's her.
And wasn't that the girl in the last episode?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Our second Vanity Fair or season finale? Is this just a drawing, or is this? That's her.
Yeah, it's from animation. Yeah.
Okay, so they brought her to life.
Yeah, live action. Same person actually. The voice actor
Is the lady who
is
plays?
the actor that plays it. So yeah,
How cool would that be?
that would be sick.
I know. How disappointing would that be if they were like,
Well, that's what they're interested.
they were like, look, we know you did this voice, but you're not good enough. Sorry.
That's what they did doing to Ahsoka, basically.
Oh, someone else is gonna play it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the dark saber? So many advertisements. Oh, these are spoilers. We don't want that.
But it'll be spoilers for things we already know.
Oh my gosh. So that's her.
Yeah.
Cries. Go from Kryza's possession to the rebels of Moff Gideon, the Mandalorian. Yeah, so somehow Moff Gideon has... So she had it at some point. Did she reference that in the episode? That she had it or anything?
Mm-mm.
What planet were they on? When she was introduced?
Oh, jeez. It was the one with the frog lady.
Let me see. What planet was that? What planet was Mando taking?
Frog lady.
Frog Lady 2. Oh my gosh. Trask.
Trask.
Wow, I feel like...
That would be easy to remember.
But no, I mean, like, this has been researched before.
Oh, yeah.
Because Google was like, boom, there it is. You don't even have to click on a link.
Frog lady.
Frog Lady.
Wikipedia.
Isn't what you think. Anyway, okay, 2, ensure the moon in Trask, where her husband is fertilized. So they were in Trask. So somehow those Mandalorians wind up on Trask.
Yeah. Well, they were hunting down Imperial places and shipments and stuff. And so the Imperials had a thing going through Trask. So
I can't remember the name. 3 Mandalorian names on Trask. That's not it, right?
But you know, the name of the episode is The Heiress, which refers to Bo-Katan as being the heir to Mandalore.
Who?
Bo-Katan. The name of the episode is The Heiress.
Mm-hmm.
And that's referring to Bo-Katan being the heir to Mandalore.
Oh, okay.
Right there. Bo-Katan, Kryze, Axe Wolves, and Koska Reeves.
Oh, so it's Bo-Katan Kryze. That's the name.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Wait, here we go. I was gonna copy it, and so that way we can like pull the picture.
Yeah, there they are.
So these are the people, and so that's what I'm saying. That's the lady from the Rebels.
And yeah, in Clone Wars.
So she used to have it.
Mm-hmm. In the Rebels, she did. So we don't know how she lost it.
Do you think that the Mandalorian explained how she lost it?
Hope so. That's what I'm saying. I hope it gets more into that.
Yeah, and versus like.
Unless Emperor Snoke.
So theoretically,
Yes.
the baby Yoda. Oh, that's so sad though to say that.
Because Baby Yoda's going to die one way or the other.
Okay, so for people that don't know, I was calling Peyton and we were talking. He was like, "Look, do me a favor. Don't realize at the end of this episode that Baby Yoda dies because they're trying to create Snoke with his blood, and Snoke is a person eventually." You know, in the later episodes, so
Yeah.
Baby Yoda's gonna die.
Yeah, well, and that's just one option, too.
Well, will he die, or they just use his blood?
Well, I don't know.
They won't suck him dry, will they?
Maybe. I don't know. I hope not. But I will say that that's just one option, that he dies that way. The other option is he gives him to Ahsoka. Ahsoka takes him to Luke because he's, like the Jedi. His whole mission is like return Baby Yoda to the Jedi. So he returns them to Luke. Luke enrolls them in his school, and then Kylo destroys the school and everyone in it. So there's two paths that Baby Yoda can go on.
But
he dies in both of them.
But he won't go to that school. He won't go to that school. He'll get returned back to where the Yodelings are. Whatever they call whatever.
Well,
they're
Yoda's species was called. They don't actually have a name. Like no one actually knows anything about them. The Yoda species, dude.
called. The child was around.
His species is literally called Yoda species.
Really?
Mm-hmm. George Lucas never made a name for it.
Yoda species. Species as unknown. Huh.
Yeah, it's so.
That's annoying. Because everything has a species name.
No, it's cool because it's Yoda.
I mean, yeah. How many? Watch this. I want to look something up. How many species are there in the Star Wars universe? 20 million. That's how many species there are, and he couldn't come up with one name for Yoda.
Okay, but they just made up that number. They didn't like. There's no way he actually named
No.
20 million.
Yeah,
Species.
you're right. But so the Mandalorian, well, can non-humans, or what do they call humans? Do they call them humans?
Yes, humanoids.
Human species name in Star Wars. Homo sapiens. So humans.
Yeah, so there's humans.
So can non-humans be Mandalorians? Can non-humans?
Yeah, foundlings.
Though Mandalorians are usually distinctively humans, some non-human individuals could be adopted into the Mandalorian creed. Creed, also another word not for cult. I'm still stuck on that. One such individual was a member of Yoda species who was inducted as a member of Din Djarin's clan. Okay, now who's Din Djarin?
Din Djarin's the Mandalorian.
Oh, that's his name.
Yeah.
That's right, because Moff
Djarin.
Gideon says his name.
Yeah, Din Djarin.
This is really well thought out. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I'm not a critic of this show at all. I just have questions, but like, it's like
There are
it's like
answers.
they answer questions that I don't have, but they don't answer questions that I do have.
Right. Well, yeah.
But I guess that's like every show.
Well, it's because
ever.
if you made the show, you would.
There's no way I can make the show
Right,
like that good.
But like, right. But like, if you were making the show, you had all the skills and everything, you would make it in a way that answered all the questions you had, and that would.
Oh yeah.
And that would like communicate with a certain percentage of the population, and the other percentage would be like, but like, what about this, man? That's the way it works.
That's fair. I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I'm excited for the next episode though, because I mean, like I said,
Yeah, I love the show.
it's interesting because it does have that like like you said, George Lucas had that like Western feel to it. And it kind of is because he's kind of like a Lone Ranger kind of guy.
Yeah, and actually, I really loved too when you saw him with the other Mandalorians. We saw with Bo-Katan and all them. The way they moved and even the blasters were like just a sleeker look, and he was a little more like rugged, like old school,
Yeah.
Westerny.
Well, and it's funny because they're like
They look like soldiers, and he looked like just a bounty hunter.
yeah, and they kind of do like that old timey shootout kind of thing because they're kind of like there's like scenes where they're like their hands are down by their side and it's like hovering their blaster.
Yeah, he pulls,
like-
he draws, a few times.
He draws. He does have that like Western like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know
he
like
does.
what is shootout kind of style.
Yeah.
That's how he does it. He's like and like he's holding a, 357 Magnum. So, but it is kind of funny because like they have, like you said, those three are kind of more like soldier kind of work, teamwork kind of thing, and he's kind of like I handle it all on my own kind of guy, which is cool. But what was I gonna say next? Well, what I was gonna say is that it's not really that. Well, maybe it's just because that's his character. I was gonna say like the old Western type feel isn't the rest of Star Wars though.
No. I mean, not all of it. No, I mean, I think you could argue episode 4 with Luke on the farm, the moisture farm.
Yeah.
At their Mos Eisley, the canteen. There's elements.
Yeah.
Throughout. Han Solo's like a real like. He could fit into a Western.
Yeah.
It's obviously different.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, I like it. Like you said, I think it's. Which also I wanted to mention because we've had his picture up here the whole time. I want to mention this guy.
Yeah.
I do kind of hate it because.
I've spoken.
What was his name?
Quill.
Quill.
Quill got capped.
I know, but like he was, dude. It was like. I hate it because he had his piece. He got his piece.
Yeah, and then
he was just living on his farm by himself, minding his own business. And then Mando's like, "Hey, I just want you to help me with something real quick."
Yeah.
And then he winds up getting
killed.
And you're kind of like, "Oh."
He was the one guy that got what he wanted out of this whole thing.
Yeah, he was like the one guy that very smart. He's retired, and he's out.
It's just straight helpful the whole time. It doesn't cause any problems.
And then gets capped. He gets burnt.
He get run down.
He gets burnt. Yeah, run down and burnt.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I've noticed that, like, Baby Yoda takes some hits.
Yeah.
He takes hits.
Baby Yoda falls, like, all the time.
Yeah. And gets thrown around, like, the ship and stuff. And, like, he's just fine. He just gets up and he's fine.
Unknown species, man. They can do whatever they want.
They just bounce. They just bounce off things. But I don't know. I mean, I think his character was good, but I do hate that happened. But, I mean, I guess he died with, quote-unquote, died with honor.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing a good thing, and it obviously he prompted IG-88 to go all like bananas, psycho, because IG-88 was reprogrammed
and then
to be a caregiver, and then he saw him dead, and and it kind of triggered his whatever, protection of Quill thing, I guess. I don't know. And actually, I don't know. I saw this. I didn't notice it when we watched it, but I saw it later. Other people pointed it out.
Mm-hmm.
They had a statue to IG-88 on Navarro when Mando goes back and he's walking with Cara Dune and Grief Karga into the school, into where the saloon used to be or whatever. Behind them is a statue of IG-88 that they made.
Why?
Because in the season finale, episode 1, he died to save him. Yeah.
We say statue?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna come up with things that you can buy.
Yeah, it's search Mandalorian.
I might have to go to videos.
It's probably not even IG-88. It's probably something else. It's IG-80 something probably. IG-11. That's what it is. IG-11.
Oh.
IG-88 was a different droid.
Oh. Who was 88?
88 was the bounty hunter in Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Oh, no. I went to a daggum website.
You just go back. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Can I zoom in?
Mm-mm.
No, that's not it.
You zoom in, you'll never zoom out.
Anyway. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's him back there.
Mm-hmm.
I did not notice that either.
I thought it was pretty neat, though.
That is neat. Good for that.
I don't know how I love the whole, rebuild Navarro. It was cool. I get it.
Oh, how they rebuilt it to make it like a.
Yeah, how like all of a sudden they're like these like great people, and it's just like, oh well, it was just the fact that the Empire was here was the only reason we were like having this bounty hunter guild and all this stuff. Is like the Empire
why
was the
were
only
they-
thing keeping us back. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Why were they hiding in the underground anyway? The Mandalorians.
Well, we were led to believe because of the Great Purge. After the Great Purge, there were very few of them left. And so they were hiding to stay safe.
Oh,
Their secrecy was what kept them safe. That's what was kind of alluded to.
so why did they decide to pop out to save Mando?
Yeah, it helped Jarn, yeah.
As for why the Mandalorians are in hiding, less is known. It is, however, possible that the Mandalorians we see on the show are an offshoot who do not recognize Bo-Katan Kryze as their leader. If that is the case, then they are all likely war criminals on the run from their own people.
Maybe. That's no, not likely.
Well, it says it's possible. However, it is possible, but you think it's unlikely.
But it says in this case, then they are all likely. That they're all likely war criminals. I don't know about that. I think it's probably assuming that they would be like the Death Watch that followed Maul. But they could just be another group of people.
I just didn't know why they were hiding. I mean, I understand the purge and all that, but and it says we don't know yet. So
Yeah, basically.
the Clone Wars is supposed to be the Siege of Mandalore. All right. Well,
Yeah.
thanks. I was just gonna look up a picture of Mandalore. All right, so that's from the TV show The Clone Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it looks like. Mandalore. I really need to watch that.
You should, dude. It's really good.
Yeah, there's what's her name.
Yep, there she is.
All right. Botan Karaz.
It would actually help a lot because then you get to meet Ahsoka and everything too, and she's about to come up in the next episode.
Yeah, that makes sense. See right there, she is. That's where they're heading to.
Mm-hmm. There she is.
All right, gotcha. All right, man. Well, you want to wrap this thing up?
Yep. Let's do it.
Thank you again for listening. This was a good time. I had a good time.
Great time.
All right, so next episode subject to be determined.
TBD.
All right. We really appreciate it to listen. I hope you guys enjoyed it and have a fantastic rest of your day.
Look at welcome to episode 1. You welcoming me or are you welcoming?
I was welcoming the audience.